Alex, great to see you. I see your training as always. You're, one of the most disciplined fighters, if not the most disciplined, so that's why you're so great. But look, obviously there's a lot of talk about this next fight in Egypt at the pyramids. I think it's going to be a crazy spectacle against Rico Verhoeven. What are you expecting?
Listen, Mike, I'm not expecting because I training.
Usyk, we know that you've been fighting, the best of the best, for some years now. But this fight is more like a fun fight, as the people would say. How do you stay motivated, or how do you motivate yourself to going into this fight?
For me, it's a real fight. Yes, Rico not a good boxer, but it's okay, fun fight, no problem. But I want a next fight with who winner, Daniel Dubois and maybe.
He's got his fight in Egypt against the kickboxer. After that, he has to defend his WBC title against Ajit Kabayel, who's been very patient and has been active. Fought early, as I said earlier, in January. He has to have that fight. He has to do that fight. If he doesn't do it, then he has to vacate the title or he'll be stripped. And then he can fight one of those guys. Not a problem. They're with us. We can make these fights happen. But the most important thing he needs to focus on, he's got to defend that BC title against Kabayel.
What do you think, though, Frank? You must have a view on Usyk fighting a kickboxer.
What do I think?
Yeah.
I don't like all that stuff. I mean, I'm not a big fan of all that stuff,
But from the WBC point of view, Kabayel's been sitting in the wings, deserves his shot.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
He should have been fighting Kabayel.
But you put Fury in with Ngannou.
Yeah, I did put him in.
So
with
you've
Ngannou.
indulged in it.
Sorry?
You've indulged in it.
I've indulged in something where some serious money was offered for a fight.
Well, that'd be wild, wouldn't it? I think Rico's gonna have to boot him in leg or something. Though. If he wants to get any sort of advantage over him, no one can beat Usyk in a boxing fight. I don't care who you are. No one on this planet. He's the best heavyweight on this planet, and he's the best heavyweight of his era. If guys like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua can't put a dent in him, no one's going to be able to put a dent in him, I'm afraid. So yeah, Rico will have to throw a few leg kicks if he wants to get one over on him there. But again, Rico's a legend of kickboxing. Guys like that who have paved the way in kickboxing and have been the goats of their generation, they deserve to get these paydays and these sort of chances to showcase what they can do and just to promote themselves and to get some big money and stuff. So yeah, it'd be nice to see.
Combat sports world is buzzing following the announcement of the fight between the reigning boxing champion Oleksandr Usyk and the reigning kickboxing champion Rico Verhoeven. The fight pits two of the most dominant champions from two completely different striking disciplines against one another. Immediately, the fight has brought about various reactions from various fighters and combat sports enthusiasts. Now, Oleksandr Usyk himself has begun sharing his thoughts on the fight. What happens when the best of the boxing world meets the best of the kickboxing world? Let's dive in.
Oleksandr Usyk's revealed his final 3 fights end with the winner of Wardley Dubois and then Tyson Fury. Are you aware of the plans? I mean, are the wheels in motion for those 2 fights to come to fruition?
No conversations have been had regarding them. Let me tell you, he's got his fight in Egypt against the kickboxer. After that, he has to defend his WBC title against Ajit Kabayel, who's been very patient and has been active. Fought early, as I said earlier, in January. He has to have that fight. He has to do that fight. If he doesn't do it, then he has to vacate the title or he'll be stripped. And then he can fight one of those guys. Not a problem. They're with us. We can make these fights happen. But the most important thing he needs to focus on, he's got to defend that BC title against.
His statements regarding the upcoming fight with Rico Verhoeven confirmed that Usyk is taking that fight like every other. As once he steps inside the ring, all fights are considered serious combats to him. He accepted the challenge when he saw that Verhoeven does not have complete boxing skills. He will have an easy work with him. He is also interested in fighting again soon after and has expressed a desire to fight the winner of Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Wardley, in addition to stating that he will be watching it closely.
Usyk, we know that you've been fighting, the best of the best, for some years now. But this fight is more like a fun fight, as the people would say. How do you stay motivated, or how do you motivate yourself to going into this fight?
For me, it's a real fight. Yes, Rico not good boxer, but it's okay. Fun fight, no problem. But I want a next fight with who winner? Daniel Dubois and maybe Wardley.
Continuing to talk about the event, Usyk shared his excitement about the unique location for the fight against Verhoeven after already headlining massive venues and stadiums throughout his career. He described competing at the iconic pyramids of Giza as another unforgettable addition to his journey. Usyk said the idea immediately sounded incredible to him, especially since it will also be his first time visiting Egypt, making the experience even more special. He added that moments like this are part of what makes his career so unique, getting the chance to fight in historic locations around the world.
Look, Alex, you've been in so many big fights at this point. You had 2 fights with Tyson Fury, you fought in a stadium in Poland, you sold out Wembley Stadium. But what is it going to be like to fight at the pyramids of Egypt? I mean, to me, it's going to be a crazy experience.
Yes, listen, it's yes, crazy experience. You know, it's my collection. You know, it's a different country when I have fight.
I mean, when you were first told about that, what was your reaction? Like, hey, Alexander, you're going to fight at the pyramids.
Oh, listen, I think, oh yes, it's a great idea because I never was Egypt, but it will be my first.
When asked about his place among the wave of elite Ukrainian fighters over the past 2 decades, Usyk was humble. He said he does not focus on personal glory or being remembered as the greatest. Instead, his priority is helping his country and supporting boxers who are currently living in Ukraine. He acknowledged the challenges the sport faces and emphasized that his achievements are a result of the gifts he has been given, which he simply tries to put to good use. He added that every fight is an opportunity to honor his roots and inspire the next generation of Ukrainian fighters.
You're in that great wave of Ukrainian fighters, and Ukraine in the last 20 years has produced so many, like, extraordinarily top-level fighters, right? Like the elite of the elite. Is that something, I know you're not, you don't like to brag, and I'm not asking you to be immodest, but is that something that you are competitive about, that you guys are competitive about? Would you like to be remembered as the greatest Ukrainian fighter of all time? It's, you know, there's a lot of competition, but is that something you ever think about?
I not think about this. For me, first time now, it's help my country and boxer who now live in Ukraine and help grow. You know, it's amateur federation because now we have problem because war. I not think about I'm great and blah blah blah. Listen, God give me a gift.
Continuing from his focus on honoring Ukraine, Usyk reflected on his past ambitions in the heavyweight division. He explained that part of the motivation behind speaking about Deontay Wilder came from that era of giants, Joshua, Fury, and Wilder, while he was still competing at cruiserweight. Beating Wilder would have felt like completing the cycle against that generation, but nothing was ever finalized. Now, his full attention is on the upcoming fight with Verhoeven.
What made you... You were talking about Deontay Wilder not that long ago, and it seemed to the world, seemed to me at least, that one of the reasons you did is because there was this era of heavyweights with Joshua and Fury and Wilder, and you were at cruiserweight at the time, and were you to beat Wilder, you would have kind of completed the cycle, beaten all the heavyweights from that era. Is that what motivated you to talk Deontay Wilder?
Yes, but we don't speak, you know, we don't speak about fight with Deontay. Yeah, we speak about fight, but we didn't agree.
Looking ahead to Usyk's future, promoter Frank Warren shared his perspective on the fighter's roadmap. He confirmed that while Usyk has mentioned finishing his next 3 fights, with the winner of Dubois versus Wardley and then potentially facing Tyson Fury, no concrete conversations have taken place yet. Warren emphasized that Usyk's immediate priority is defending his WBC title against Ajit Kabayel, who has been patiently waiting and staying active. He's got his fight in Egypt against the kickboxer first, Warren said, and after that we can make these bigger fights happen. Only after that defense can the bigger matchups be arranged.
Oleksandr Usyk's revealed his final 3 fights end with the winner of Wardley Dubois and then Tyson Fury. Are you aware of the plans? I mean, are the wheels in motion for those 2 fights to come to fruition?
No conversations have been had regarding them. Let me tell you, he's got his fight in Egypt against the kickboxer. After that, he has to defend his WBC title against Ajit Kabayel, who's been very patient and has been active. Fought early, as I said earlier, in January. He has to have that fight. He has to do that fight. If he doesn't do it, then he has to vacate the title or he'll be stripped. And then he can fight one of those guys. Not a problem. They're with us. We can make these fights happen. But the most important thing he needs to focus on, he's got to defend that BC title against...
When asked about Usyk taking on a kickboxer, Warren admitted he is not entirely a fan of the idea. He pointed out that from the WBC's perspective, Kabayel has been waiting in line and deserves his shot. Warren stressed that Usyk should have been fighting Kabayel first, but acknowledged that he went along with the matchup because of the significant money involved and also admitted that it was an exciting prospect.
What do you think, though, Frank? You must have a view on Usyk fighting a kickboxer.
What do I think?
Yeah.
I don't like all that stuff. I mean, I'm not a big fan of all that stuff, you know.
But from a WBC point of view, Kabayel's been sitting in the wings, deserves his shot.
Well, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
He should have been fighting Kabayel.
But you put Fury in with Ngannou.
Yeah, I did put him in.
So you've
Ngannou.
indulged in it.
Sorry?
You've indulged in it.
I've indulged in something where some serious money was offered for a fight for a lot of money. And as I said at the time, it would be exciting.
Usyk prepares for his fight at the Pyramids of Giza. Former world champion Johnny Nelson weighed in on the situation. He pointed out that while some might question a kickboxer challenging for a world title, Usyk has already proven himself by dominating everyone in his path and establishing himself at the top. Nelson noted that financially, Usyk is not in the same position as Fury or Joshua, so he has to make smart moves to maximize his opportunities. This fight, according to Nelson, creates intrigue and offers a solid payday, allowing Usyk to capitalize on his status as a top draw.
The big thing here is, when they fight in the Pyramids of Giza, the big question I've got to ask you is, would you have accepted someone from kickboxing fighting you for your world title while you were holding it, with him never having competed at that level?
Well, you've got to look at Oleksandr, what he's done. He's wiped the floor with everybody. He's established himself at the top there. So now you look at him and you'll think financially, will he be in a better position than Tyson Fury? No, not in my opinion. Anthony Joshua? No, not in my opinion. The big money fights aren't out there for him, so he's got to do something. He's got to put himself in a position where he's got to win, because he's proved he's top draw. So in this fight here, I think it creates interest, intrigue. I'm quite sure there's a healthy pay packet at the end of it. This is now business for him. This is now because he's thinking, I've proved it all to you, so I've got to make as much as I can. Because remember, the talk was Deontay Wilder for a short while, because he wants to get all the scalps. He wants to look at the biggest names out there with the least amount.
However, Gareth A. Davies offered a contrasting view to Nelson's take on Usyk fighting a kickboxer. He argued that while a bout like this might be exciting, it is not comparable to a true legacy fight. Davies pointed out that Deontay Wilder, for example, had defended his WBC title multiple times, faced Tyson Fury in a high-profile trilogy, and was statistically one of the most dangerous punchers in heavyweight history. By comparison, Davies emphasized that Verhoeven has never boxed professionally, making the matchup a very different kind of challenge. Turning to the main event at the Pyramids of Giza, Davies raised concerns about the legitimacy of the fight. While he acknowledged the spectacle, massive crowd, and incredible setting, he questioned whether the WBC title should be at stake. Davies argued that Usyk deserves a memorable first-time experience in Egypt, but he felt that the World Boxing Council should not have allowed the belt to be put on the line, suggesting that the sanctioning body risks compromising its integrity by prioritizing financial gain over sporting merit. Building on the concerns about the WBC title and the spectacle at the Pyramids of Giza, Ariel Helwani offered his take on the Usyk versus Verhoeven fight from a fan perspective. He noted that while the MMA and kickboxing communities show more cohesion and respect, the boxing world has largely disrespected Verhoeven. Helwani stressed that he is not suggesting Verhoeven will beat Usyk, arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter and top heavyweight of his generation, but he was surprised at how some are treating the kickboxer like a complete unknown. On the other hand, Showbiz the Adult broke down why Usyk is taking on Verhoeven as a tune-up fight. He explained that top opponents like Wardley, Wilder, and others are not available. So, Usyk requested a tune-up from the WBC, which was accepted. His choice of Verhoeven, a dominant kickboxer, might seem surprising, but he emphasized that Usyk is a true warrior who has always admired martial arts and MMA. Taking on a knockout artist like Verhoeven fits his mindset of seeking challenges and testing himself in every possible way. Showbiz the Adult then added that at this stage in their careers, both Usyk and Verhoeven being in their mid to late 30s, this fight is also about putting on a show, earning a payday, and having some fun before Usyk. Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Knockout today and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.